Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm not gonna lie, man. I was not planning on making a YouTube video anytime soon. I was gonna take a nice break, and the one thing I didn't have to worry about was the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. But here we are. FromSoftware decided this was the place to announce their next game, which is a Switch 2 exclusive. Now, who saw this one coming? Because I certainly did not. Now, this is the Duskbloods, a new game directed by Miyazaki, and let's just call it how it is. This is weird. I don't know what I'm looking at. This looks like a mix of Bloodborne with Hugo Cabret, some Alice in Wonderland, except the kid's nightmare version of it. And here is what we know so far. Developed for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, the Duskbloods is a PvPvE title with online multiplayer at its core, where up to 8 players vie for supremacy among themselves and against challenging foes. Play as the Bloodsworn, a group that has transcended human strengths thanks to their special blood, and throw yourself into a violent fray for first blood as the twilight of humanity approaches, which really came out of nowhere. And I have a lot to say about this. Now, it's a very long trailer, so I hope you already watched it, but let's try to break down what we can, because there's a lot going on here. Now, the trailer opens up with a shot of our protagonist, I believe, with some woman on the floor next to him who reaches up and touches his hand, and the theme here is vampires, because the woman says, "I give you my blood, I give you my life, transport him to a night of moonlight." Now, who is she talking about? We don't know, but she touches the hand and this mark appears. Now, this goes on for a little while, so let me get a few other thoughts out of the way real quick. One thing we'll notice in this trailer is that the fidelity is quite a bit lower than what we're used to with console FromSoftware games. You can very clearly tell this is on the Switch. Graphically, it looks like we're taking a step back, which is fine. But this is also very clearly in the Elden Ring engine. There's a lot of asset reuse going on. You'll notice it throughout the trailer. We've got things from Armored Core, things from Sekiro, Bloodborne, obviously. It sticks out pretty hard. But again, who cares? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the next shot, we get Central Yarnum, mixed with Stormvale Castle off there to the left. Jokes aside, it looks like we got another London type setting. A lot of Bloodborne inspiration going on here, but leaning much more into the steampunk side of things than Bloodborne did. The whole train shot right here reminds me of like Code Vein, because it's very out of place with the futuristic lights than everything else around it. And I think that's kind of the theme of the world going on here. This like kids toy box menagerie of things. Very abstract, which was what Miyazaki said his next game was going to be. Very interesting, but then we get a shot of the protagonist. It looks like we'll be able to create a character, but then he's standing over this valley. Again, it's very Elden Ring. A lot of asset reuse going on here. Is that a problem? I don't know. It might rub some people the wrong way. I don't care, but it does stick out like I said. We've got this gothic cathedral with this sort of citadel town and panning shots of new NPCs or bosses from all walks of life. It's hard to pin down exactly what the main theme is here, like I said. Everything's just so different. Again, very abstract. But then we get this shot, which is very interesting. This steampunk Hugo Cabret again style suit, which takes flight, and I think this is probably the player because we have the Armored Core flight system. Now they kind of make it sound like a battle royale. I hope that's not the case because we just had Night Rain, but maybe this is some kind of upgrade you can get during your game. I don't know, man. I wish FromSoftware had another Souls-like to drop. Maybe that's not coming until 2027 though. But then we get a shot of this little boy holding an orb and looking at the Hugo Cabret style moon. Then we get this boss looking character holding his hands up like he's on puppet strings. The character then jumps over the valley we've been seeing and then takes the blood of a character, looks like a fodder enemy, and absorbs what comes out. We see an elevator, I guess, and an enemy that looks absolutely crazy, walking through the sewers or an alley with a big Cheshire cat smile. This whole vibe is just creepy to me. But we do see quite a bit of environmental diversity. We see this leathered character again with the katana that we saw earlier summon a female character. Maybe these are players actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Again, it is PvPvE. Our main character then does a double jump and fires his pistol. And then we get this crazy shot of him getting absolutely wrecked by this boss. Reminds me of like a Malekith cleric beast mix. And he blocks the attack with his gun, probably pretty inefficient. And then we see straight up a Bloodborne hunter riding a headless horse through an alley, and a character transforming into a T-Rex. Now that's what I'm talking about with the vibe being all over the place, man. What is this? But I assume this is a player, because it attacks a character with different clothes than the main character we've seen so far. Andre of Astora is back. We get this Japanese-style character wielding this moon disc looking thing. The boy with the orb again casting gravity spells, and then the main character we've seen so far with this other character or potentially player wielding an axe and emotes on him. But there is one final shot after this. It is of this rat with wings, with this orb as an earring, and lots of golden sigils on it. It's laying down as if either tired or being oppressed by whatever these markings are. But that is the Duskbloods, man. What y'all think? This is so weird to me. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. I have absolutely no idea what to make of this game. 8-player PvPvE. Maybe he wasn't lying when he said he wanted to make something like Tarkov. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy to hear that it's not a traditional Souls-like. I'm gonna be honest, I don't blame you, but expect something Elden Ring caliber in 2027 or 2028. FromSoftware is on annual releases right now, and again, this is just a Switch 2 exclusive. Personally, I'm still gonna play it. It looks really cool. I'm very fascinated by what they have going on here. Now, when it comes to PvP, it did seem like with Elden Ring, FromSoftware was moving away from PvP. Definitely didn't give it the love it needed. Although they did do a lot of patches, it still is just not up to par with what we used to have. And of course, Night Rain is co-op only, so there's no PvP love in that game at all. So I'm pretty excited to hear that, actually. The one thing that's consistent across every FromSoftware game is that they're all a ton of fun. And I have no doubt that the Duskbloods will be too. Now, although we did see quite a bit of area diversity, it all looks like it takes place in the same city. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I look at this trailer, it actually does make me think back to some of those Spellbound leaks. Now, of course, that was fake, but they did say it was gonna all be light armor. That's what we saw in this trailer, and it all takes place in one city. Maybe somebody did see something. Again, it did turn out to be fake. I don't know, man. Probably just a coincidence. Either way, we're gonna learn more about this game on Friday. I will probably have a video on that too, breaking down everything new we learned. But like I said, I was trying to take a YouTube break. I did not need this to come out today. I didn't even make a video on Prime 4, which I really wanted to, and now I'm kind of regretting. But what do y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below what you think about the Duskbloods, and I guess what you think about the Switch 2 Direct overall. That was pretty crazy. I was not expecting any of this. I know y'all got Silk Song too, but either way, I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts. With all that though, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like on it, and I will catch you all on Friday for more information on the Duskbloods.